Bill Zito just pulled off the impossible, the unthinkable. The magician has done it yet again. He is keeping the trifecta together. It is impossible. I just cannot wrap my mind around what just happened, plus the one extra guy they're about to sign right now. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. I am juiced. I am jacked. I am ready. This is shocking, incredible, unbelievable news. How did Bill Zito not get GM of the year, guys? I don't know. But this is the big news. I'm just going to throw it right at you in your face. The Panthers were close in talks about 45 minutes ago about Brad Marchand and Tomas Nosek signing. Well, guess what just happened? Brad Marchand, 6 years, just under $32 million. My mind is blown. He was able to pull the trigger on each of the big three free agents and didn't even have to blink. The guys didn't even enter free agency. I cannot wait to hear how each of these deals got done. What was it that got these guys to say, you know what? I'm signing for that dollar amount. And I know what you guys are, some of you guys are saying about Brad Marchand. Yeah, 6-year deal. He'll be like 42, 43 years old. The thing is this, it was probably not about the longevity of the contract in 6 years. It was probably about, you saw in one of the videos, he said, I'm not leaving. He put up 4 more years, but they were saying, you know, there are other players that the team needs to sign. And to get the contract to work out right, I'm sure there's other incentives and things like that, but he needed to sign for either a longer period of time and less money per year, so it works out in favor for the Panthers to keep signing some of the players that they need to have on their team. And I don't know what the Tomas Nosek signing will be yet, but I'm sure that will come out. But the Panthers literally have pulled off the impossible, guys. They literally pulled off the impossible, and I'm sure there's teams out there that are just going, I cannot believe that GM Bill Zito in the front office was able to retain all 3 of these guys. Unbelievable job by Bill Zito. If he doesn't win GM of the year next year, the Jim Gregory Award, don't throw it in the garbage can, but it should never, ever be trusted as something that's like, oh, hey, yeah, I truly am the best GM in the league. So anyways, guys, this is what has happened. This is all the big breaking news in the last 48, 72 hours. Sam Bennett staying here. 8 years, $8 million. Aaron Ekblad staying 8 years, $6.1 million. And now Brad Marchand, 6 years, totaling $32 million. I'm not getting into the year-to-year compensation AAV because, again, we don't know how long he's going to keep playing. I'm sure this is just so he will retire eventually. I'm assuming probably between 3 and 4 years, but the team has retained its core. Now, like I said earlier, how many guys were under contract for 5 or more years? I said 8 before. Now you have 9 in Marchand, 10 in Aaron Ekblad. 10 players are now under contract for 5 or more years. Is this the beginning of a true dynasty in hockey? Are we going to look back? Again, I'm not going to jump the gun too much, but will we look back at this and look at the old days of the teams that were the big-time winners, winning multiple cup titles in short spans of time? I can't believe that this just happened. I cannot believe that Bill Zito was able to pull the trigger and get all 3 of these guys and Tomas Nosek. The only downside right now is we're going to be losing one of our defensemen. Okay, and I have a feeling, I don't know how Zito's able to possibly keep Rodriguez, but it looks to me like he might be able to pull it off. So we will see what will happen with the rest of this roster as it shapes out. And I was saying, like, maybe Nate Schmidt might be gone, unfortunately, but we could probably be able to replace him now that Aaron Ekblad has resigned. There's not a lot of holes in that defensive roster, but that is a big loss for the Panthers. But I'm sure they could find someone in free agency, which is wonderful. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure there's a few guys at the lower cap amount that they could end up signing. So this is the biggest takeaway from this, though, right now, that are the needs of the Florida Panthers. Again, filling those other roster spots. And then they still have to sign Tarasov to a contract and Samoskevich. Those two guys, they still need to put under contract, and they haven't done it yet. But the word on the street is they're going to get around somewhere around $1 million a year. So with what Brad Marchand just did, he allowed that to happen. I told you there was that weird number with what Ekblad ended up getting. That 8-year 6.1. To me, when I heard that number, I was like, that's a strange number to be getting. Unless something is on the horizon, unless they had a meeting of the minds, and it was those three players that got together, and Bill Zito and Paul Maurice, and who knows else. I don't know who else was probably sitting in that meeting room, but I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall if that actually happened, or even in just one-on-one meetings to hear this guy's willing to sacrifice. This guy's willing to sacrifice. This is about chasing rings now, baby. This is not about money for these guys. It's about chasing rings. I think the three of them knew Sam Bennett deserved every penny he's getting. Again, I told you, I knew Aaron Ekblad was going to be taking some sort of a discount because of his previous 8 years. He has been injury plagued. I know somebody wrote in the comments for the last video, oh, well, he doesn't know how to skate. He doesn't play good defense. This and this and this. How long have I been living here? I've been living here long enough to know that, guess what? Since 1993, a lot of the different players that have come in and come out of here defensively, Aaron Ekblad is probably one of the best that's been out there. Yes, he's been injured. Yes, he's been this and that. All these other, but he has still been a very solid key part of this defensive front that the Florida Panthers have. You can't discount the fact that he has had some very good years. Yes, the injuries have crept up, and that's the reason why I think he was convinced and was like, all right, you know what? With the state tax, all of that stuff, and what have you, with just the contractual obligations and the numbers, it played out to where he was like, you know what, you guys are right. I'd rather be chasing rings. I made my money with that 8-year, $7.5 million per year. And like I said, he was going to take some sort of a contract that was going to say in his tenure as a Florida Panther, which he will retire a Florida Panther now, will be somewhere along $100 million in his total career in the NHL. Playing career, I should say. And I think that's exactly what he was kind of looking for. And he knew, along with Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand, they were all probably thinking, let's go get some more rings, boys. Let's help each other. Let's get this franchise to be one of the best there has ever been since the salary cap era. I'm not going to say in totality, because there have been some damn good ones from back in the day, boys. From the Canadian, from the other teams from Canada, Maple Leafs, Canadiens, especially the Canadiens. Come on. I'm not going to make that comparison. Salary cap era is very different. But this is an exciting time to be a Florida Panthers fan. Bill Zito literally has done the unthinkable, the impossible, the unimaginable in signing the big three unrestricted free agents that are now off the market. If this team is not going to be the front runner to win the Stanley Cup, something's wrong. I know there's been some movement. I saw what happened to Mitch Marner. He is now signed with the Vegas Golden Knights for 8 years, $12 million a year. Insane. But this, guys, this is an awesome time to be a Florida Panthers fan. I'm stoked. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to hear the press conferences, what Brad Marchand's going to say, what Aaron Ekblad's going to say, even though Aaron Ekblad's a pretty soft-spoken guy. But Brad Marchand, I think, is going to come out and lay it on us about why he's staying. Why is he doing this? It's about rings. It's not about going back to Boston and retiring his jersey there. It's not about going to Toronto, back to Nova Scotia, and being a Toronto fan growing up. He's going to be the bane of existence. I'm sorry, Maple Leafs fans, for you guys, for more time to come. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining me on this episode of Panthers Digest. Whoo, it's a crazy day, and there's still more that'll probably happen. We will see. Maybe the Panthers still have a trade in them to bring in another great defensive player. Who knows? But right now, I got to sit down, guys, and take a load off and relax. But thank you all so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. If more news comes up, obviously, you know, I will post something as soon as things break. But again, thank you all for supporting me. I'm your host, Greg Andrews. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, okay, guys? But anyways, Panthers are killing it right now. Bill Zito's the best. Look out next year, and there's still more to come. All right, go Panthers, guys.